Hey everyone, what's up? It's time for yet another episode of Printing with Pat, and today is a special one. We actually got a request for this one. A guy by the name of J. Calhoun. Gail left a comment on our video about Chise's wand from Ancient Magus Bride. If you haven't seen that video, put that in the cards. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, if you didn't guess it from the opening, today's print is all about fate. It's the two iconic swords that Archer wielded. This print was another one where size was a little bit of an issue. The file for this had it all as one piece. And as I've said in previous videos, my print bed isn't the biggest in the world, so I had to slice up each sword into 5 different pieces. Then those swords had to be put back together. On to the process that everybody loves about 3D printing, sanding. It was during my sanding marathon that I ran into a little bit of a problem. The glue I used decided it didn't really want to be a glue. So I had to start back at square one. The pieces had to be re-glued together and those seams had to get refilled and sanded. And then it was back to sanding and priming and sanding and priming and sanding and priming, and you know, you get the idea. I had some nasty little seam lines I needed to fill. A lot of people will use, say, Bondo or a spot putty to fill their seams. I went back with the trusty Tamiya putty. During my sanding and priming marathon, I ran into yet another problem, and this seems to have been plaguing me for the last couple prints. This little snag, the paint. The automotive filler primer I was using was different from what I've used in the past, and for some reason it just did not want to adhere correctly. With the battle against glue and against paint one, it was finally time to get these two knives painted in their respective colors. The base coat of paint for these is really simple. One gets black, one gets white. After the paint dried, I passed this on to my wife. It became another team project, giving her a deft hand at painting, especially with this one. All the different little hexagons, I was not going to attempt that. with little hexagons. They were hand painted on. We don't have the luxury of a Cricut cutter or a vinyl cutter to make any kind of cool stencil, so my wife almost went cross-eyed trying to make sure these were all straight and even. The hilt on both the swords, we used gold leaf. We had some extra lying around from a past project, so we thought, why not? Let's use it on this too. The last little bit of detail each sword got was its grip. It was just a leather strip that was wrapped around and glued into place. If there's a prop out there that you would like to see me try and make, please feel free to leave a comment below. And finally, I'm finished. This was another project that seemed to drag on a little longer than it needed to be, but in the end, I'm glad I stuck with it. I believe it is equally as important to show my failures as it is to show my successes. So often you see a prop or a cosplay just seemingly come together, but the struggles behind the scenes that it took to make that project aren't something that are always mentioned. You always hear the phrase, you learn from your mistakes. Wow. I'm getting a little serious, aren't I? You know what, I'm gonna wrap this up before things get real weird. If you want to see more of my attempts at cosplaying, please like and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. After the paint dried, I sent the knives on to... Why do I keep saying knives?
Because you're a chef.